Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to A Second Chance. My name is Philip Jones.
And I am Tafaro Cook, two-time kidney transplant recipient and founder of Kidney Care Coach. We coach people with stage 3 to stage 5 kidney disease. You know someone who has kidney disease and they need to be coached? Reach out to us at kidneycarecoaches.com or you can email us at info@kidneycarecoaches. Today, we have a great show on Let's Talk. And please, people, don't forget to like and subscribe. We do this information bringing it to you guys. All you got to do is hit the button, like it, and subscribe, and chime in and with questions so we can answer, so we can talk about it. But today we're talking about a new stem cell therapy that could replace kidneys for people who are on dialysis. This is a new thing, and I talked to Phil about this, backstage. And new information going on about these stem cells and things like that that can create us to have new kidneys where you don't even need a donor. So we'll read a little bit of this article and we're going to get into it. Chronic kidney disease and dialysis patients are excited about the prospect of breakthroughs to help alleviate the need for dialysis or even traditional transplant. New findings from Wake Forest Institute of Regenerative Medicine, WFIRM, is showing more promise than ever before to allow kidney disease and dialysis patients a higher quality of life and improve longevity with their promising potential stem cell breakthrough. Scientists are working on a promising approach to treat chronic kidney disease and kidney failure by harnessing the unique properties of human amniotic fluid derived stem cells, a mixture of stem cells that can be obtained from the fluid surrounding the fetus within the innermost membrane that encloses the embryo of the man. Wake Forest University research has demonstrated that the cells can potentially help recover kidney function in those with kidney disease and even kidney failure. Basically, I can't pronounce this word,
Yeah, amniotic.
amniotic fluid derived stem cells and therapeutic and appear to help the regeneration of damaged tissue, according to science data. So, what they're talking about is if your kidney is failing, they can inject this amniotic fluid. What's the word? I keep
No, you
going
said
back
it
to
right the first time. Amniotic.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Amniotic fluid into your kidney, and this thing will generate healthy stem cells, and your kidney can come back, and it's promising. They've been doing this with they're testing it in animals, and it's been really, really successful. So we're not talking about giving you a kidney transplant. We're talking about just injecting these cells in you and for the fetus, and it regenerates the kidney that you already have. What's your thoughts on this, Phil?
I mean, if it's something that can be long lasting, I know I saw the words longevity and things of that nature that come up in the article, which means multiple years, length in time. Um, and so my whole thing is, it's a great situation, because then people don't have to go through these surgeries to, they don't have to get cut on and things of that nature, have to deal with the recovery process. And I mean, I know the most important thing that most people worry about isn't even the surgery when it comes to a transplant. It's the medication that they have to take after the fact, right?
Boom. The
And
upkeep
the
afterwards.
rejection
Right.
meds and things of
Mhm.
that nature.
Yep.
So I mean, if it cuts that out, and there's longevity, there's length in time that people can gain years to still be here with their families and friends and stuff like that, I say make it happen. um
Right.
you know uh there's no point of having to continue to keep going through these uh educational settings before we, make sure you're compliant, take your medications. You don't have to worry about all these goddamn medications that, if this is effective like they're saying. So, I mean, I say
Let
it's
me
a
ask you
great
this
thing.
though. Let me ask you this. What do you think with all these revolutionary things coming up? There's a lot of things coming up on this in this kidney world. What do you think? How do you think the pharmaceutical companies who've been making not millions but billions of dollars of revenue off kidney patients in general, kidney disease, I should say, and they are helping a lot of people because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. So I'm not disrespecting them, and they should get paid, but I don't know about. I question how much money they get paid. Wow, it's what's your thoughts on that? Now, let me ask you that. What do you think the pharmaceutical companies? How do they feel about this?
Of course, they'll be pissed off because you messing with their money. But I don't care about their money. I don't care what their pockets look like. I'm more concerned about people being able to stay alive, not die. I mean, as transplant patients, man, in the past couple of years, 2, 3 years, man, I've seen so many people post, about friends with transplants that passed away, COVID, non-COVID, you know, and we have to find a way to slow that down. So when it comes to their money, I don't really care. I'm more concerned about these families being able to keep loved ones here longer, and people being able to stay here and
Yeah,
have
but
a
but but
great time.
but check this out though. I know you don't care about that, but let's keep it real, man. They're not going to cut out this billion-dollar industry of pharmaceuticals and give people just kidneys. So we have to take this in consideration how this plays out. And I know you don't care, and I get that. And you're for the right thing, bro. You just want people to be healthy, and I get that. But think about all the people that are working for these pharmaceutical companies who have jobs, who have families also, and they're making a living also. So I just don't see. I'm just. My question is, how do we coexist with each other? Where these new technologies is coming out, and we want the people at Big Pharma to make their money. I question how much money they do make. The the prices of the medicine being up so high. Sometimes it's 300% markup. That's crazy. But how do we coexist with if somebody was to get this kidney stem cells and all of a sudden they don't need anything and they're good? How do we coexist? That's where I'm at because they're not gonna cut
Well,
out big pharma.
it'll coexist for a while, and I think what'll happen is, um, at the beginning of this coming out, what'll happen is they'll figure out a way to stay relevant and still be able to make their money. Um, because you got to think of it like this: how many people are on this list to read? That's where you got to start, right? The list. Let's start with the list. How many
But we're
people
not
are on
even
the
talking
list?
about the list. We're
No,
talking
no,
about
I'm saying,
everybody.
but I'm getting to a point. That's
Okay.
what I'm getting to a point. Think about the list. How many people are on the list that need to get a transplant, no matter what kind of organ, tissue, or whatever it is
Oh,
that
okay.
they need, right? Now you got to think of the next step, which is how many people are sick in general that will end up making it and have to be on that list or won't even be able to get on that list. They're going to need surgery as well. So they're going to have a plenty of time between day one when they really kind of come out with it, and whenever the last person gets a transplant. But you got to, what we have to understand is that it's not like kidney failure just stops or liver failure just stops or heart failure is going. This is once the last person gets transplanted in the time of now, it doesn't mean that nobody else is going to get sick again. So they're going to have people continually getting sick, which means that they'll make a certain amount of money off people. It might be a lot shorter amount of time than what they've been making money off of people, but so they'll still make that money. So it's not. I don't think it's necessarily going anywhere. I just think it just depletes the amount that they make comes down as opposed to what they normally make, because it won't be so many sick people in the world anymore that they can get from. So I mean, the number of people that are on this list and are sick now in general is kind of where you have to start, which gives them years on years on years to figure out a plan on how they can continue. Once we start getting down to that lower end number of people that need transplants or need help, healthcare or anything like that. So it just depends on if they use their time wisely in that time to figure something out.
Big Pharma always talks about their stockholders. That's the biggest thing. Hey, we're doing this for our stockholders. I'm not a stockholder in a big pharma, but if I was, and all of a sudden, how do we convince the stockholders to take less money? And they're putting money into this company. They want their return on their investment. So how do we even talk to them? Where they're gonna be like, no, I don't care about, their objection is totally different. They're like this. They don't know anybody who needs transplants. They don't know anybody who has kidney disease. So they're like, hey, keep on pushing that big pharma, the medications and stuff, so I can make my money. Hey, I invested in this company. That means I'm part owner of this company. So just like you're saying, you're on one side where your side is, I want people to get healthy. I don't care about that. And I get where you're going. But this other person over here has put $20,000 of their revenue into this company so they can make, their shares. How do we, what I'm saying, how do we coexist? And they're not going to want to take a less. They don't want their stocks going down.
The other thing is we got to think about is how do they address uh, the insurance issue, right? And I just thought as you were talking, I was just thinking about this, and I
I
said,
got you.
if they don't fix it for where everybody can get it, then big pharma ain't gonna have to really worry about it because they still gonna have those people who don't have the right medical insurance. Not so much that they don't have medical insurance at all in general, but they might not have the right medical insurance that allows them to have that type of procedure done to put them in that position. So you probably, for a long time until they make get the insurance part of it right, big pharma will still have that big number of people that they still have to supply to and where they can get their money from. So I don't think they'll worry too soon, if at all. But it I, I mean you know a little bit more on the return to interest part of it than I do. I mean we talk about this kind of frequently now, with certain things that we're doing, but um I mean,
Well,
yeah,
back to what this. Let's just focus on. I get where you're going because you and I can talk about the pros and cons of this forever. We can bring up all kinds of questions, but
right.
let's talk about this. I want to read this. It says our results indicate that this type of stem cell could be used as an off-the-shelf universal stem cell source and may provide an alternative therapeutic strategy for patients suffering from chronic and debilitating diseases. So they're talking about this stem cell is universal, where they could take it off the shelf and they could use it for a kidney a person who's going through kidney disease. They could use it for somebody who's going through liver disease, heart disease, lung disease, whatever it may be. That's what they're talking about. Man,
Mm-hmm.
we have a lot of things on the horizon, and I'm look the way it sounded with all the information you and I are coming across. Things are going to be changing rapidly. Things are going to be changing for people. We're going to be looking at people that we know that might have an organ from an animal. They might have an organ from a artificial planet AI organ in their body. I mean, in our lifetime. Now I'm gonna keep it real, man. When I first thought about this, I never thought, I would see the day of this. This is so futuristic, but it's here right now. What's your thoughts on the movement of the world? How we're moving in such a rapid pace? What's your thoughts on that?
Uh, Well, first thing is, the movement is necessary to save more lives. I wish that it could have been started. These people that are having these ideas. And what's crazy is that most of these people that are having these ideas, they're not people who been in the game 25, 30 years that just over time they've been thinking of these ideas, trying to perfect it and things like that. Excuse me, these are people that are like 20, 25 years old, that just like through school, through high school or some, they probably had advanced physics and all these other class schools, and you got certain high schools who skip 4 or 5 grades and then college at like 16, 17 years old. Most of the people that go through this are the younger people, right? So
What do you
they
mean
have
most
more
of the people who
time.
go through what?
I'm sorry.
What do you mean that most of the people who go through what? Go
Most
through
of the
kidney
people who are
disease?
coming up with these ideas, um
I disagree with that. I think some of these
oh, some
scientists
of them, yeah, some of
have
them
been
are
doing it
older
for a
people.
long time, man. It's
Yeah.
just it takes such a long time to do this, to do these type of things where it's just now coming where they can talk about it. Like, can you imagine? You know the work. So I don't think these people are young. I love to see some youngsters get on things like that because they can revolutionize some things.
Well, I do think it's a combination. My thinking is just it may be a little bit more of the younger ones, but I know for a fact that there's a combination because, again, like you said, the years of experience that has to come behind it, right? But then you got to think the younger ones that come around that could think outside the box. To add that element of, hey, did you ever think to try using XYZ as opposed to, ABC, in these, specific positions and stuff like that, trying to come up with these ways to be able to save people's lives and stuff like that. So, um, you know, it, again, I hope that it happens and happens soon. I hope that the insurance thing, and that's going to be the number one thing that's going to either help or get in the way of people, is going to be the
Right.
insurance side of it. So
It's
if they can
it,
get that right, they'll be okay. Keep talking. I need to blow
well,
my. I don't want to do it on camera.
yeah. I think for sure that insurance is going to have to get on board because they're not putting millions and millions of dollars into this new state of the art kidney transplants and kidney, stem cells and all these type of things for the insurance companies not to get on board. They will get on board. They will be willing to do these things because there's a lot of stuff coming out. I want to read this other part of this right here, which is pretty amazing. Also, they say now they are finding in animal testing that by injecting amniotic fluid stem cells into a diseased kidney appears to directly lead to improvement of kidney function based on measured waste levels after 10 weeks. Biopsy findings showed reduced damage to the cluster of capillaries where waste products are filtered from the blood. What great news! And that is great news. That's awesome. So, we got a lot of things on the horizon right now when it comes to kidney disease, heart disease, lungs, liver, all these other things that are coming into play right now. There's a lot of things coming on the market. Um, when these things do come to the market, I believe the insurance companies can't do them but insure because it's going to be here and it's going to be the new style of doing things. You and I talk about this. I think in 10 to 15 years, it's gonna be a couple waiting lists of different styles of waiting lists where if you have kidney disease and you haven't had a kidney transplant, we can shoot you with these stem cells and see how it regenerates your kidney function level. Also, if if you need a kidney and that probably is not the way for you to go, we could put a pig kidney in you. If that's not the way to go, we could do a printable 3D kidney, and they're doing those too, where they can take your DNA and make a printable DNA kidney, even boost the kidney like a car, like a high performance car. You can have a high performance heart, high performance kidney, high performance lungs, all these things also implanted in you, and the medicines will be non and void again. And take it from me, my first transplant was in '93. Okay, so the way transplants looked in '93, as far as the medications opposed to now, I could definitely say it's 70% less medications. And I'm an old dude, and I'm telling you, I watched it because when I took medications in '93, I had a boatload of them. I mean, a boatload, and the side effects were vicious. Serious, man. I'm talking about side effects that you and I could talk about them one day, but it's crazy. Nowadays, I just take two anti-rejection medicines. I remember getting a biopsy back in the day, and they had to take a long gun with a needle on it that was like this and shoot you and be like, "Oh, we didn't even get a piece. We just got skin, so we got to do it again, do it again. And your whole side
Oh,
will
I've had
boost
that
and everything."
happen with my transplanted kid. Had that happen with my transplanted kidney too. But even
They're
before
not doing
then, they
that
were probably just coming out with that way of doing it at that time. Because when I was 4, I got diagnosed at the same time you had your first transplant, right? 93 when I was 4 years old, and they had to literally cut to get to my kidney and take a pill. I still have the scar 28 years later, and my scar is still here. Where they had to actually go through my back area though, because the
right.
scar is here to get to it.
The point I'm
Uh,
making, though,
so
Phil. Hold on. The point I'm making, though, Phil, is our evolution has went a long way from it. If you was a 4-year-old now, they wouldn't even think about doing any barbaric type of stuff like that, right?
right.
So I want to read what Bella said right here. She said, "Yes, Tafaro, I thought that I would never live to see an African American president, but I did. So why would I think that I could not see the manifestation of this?" She's absolutely right. And I'm telling you right now, man, I believe in 10 years, and it could be shorter time, that the waiting list is going to look different. LifeLink, Lifeline, all these other places who are, working to get organ donors and everything. I believe this landscape is going to look totally different with all the new technology coming.
I think they'll have, uh, I guess you can call them, subtitles to the list. I think the list will still be the same. They'll have its overall list, but then have, uh I guess you can call it rankings for certain things, right? Because at the end of the day, you still have to think it may be one that's better than the other, for this specific person.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
still need, or it may be another way that can still help or assist this person with getting through this. Whether it's the pig kidney, 3D kidney, the stem cells, a normal transplant, or whatever like that, right? So I
You're gonna
think it's
have
still
options. You will
right,
have, like you
right.
just said, you
Uh-huh.
will have options, and I believe the customization it will be the option for you. Where somebody who might have kidney disease, we can just shoot you with these stem cells, and we watch in time 10 weeks while you go to stage 4, stage 3, stage 2, stage 1, and you're off and running. You're good. We don't even have to get you. Think about the money saved if they don't have to get this person to get it on dialysis, a transplant, and everything. The money saved if this person's in stage 4 and he's headed that way. We give him stem cells. All of a sudden, that person's regenerating their kidney functioning back, going back in time, almost like Benjamin Button, where your kidney
Mhm.
is getting healthier,
As time goes on,
reversing
right.
kidney disease. Right.
Mhm.
So think about that. Think about how much money we could save if that person had to not go on dialysis. That person did not have to get a transplant. That person just went straight from stage 4, got the stem cells, and they back off doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, in 10 years, I believe the landscape will look different.
I think that's just attached to what you mentioned earlier about big pharma. I mean, we save money, but that also means that they lose money. So
I think they
but
make their money in different ways. That's just what I'm saying.
okay, yeah, no, I can get that. Again, like I said, in time, if they use the time wise, they'll figure something out. They'll figure
No,
out
they
some
will.
kind of way to make that money. Either keep coming at the same level, or if nothing else, close to it. Because
They'll make more. And believe me, what I'm saying is they'll definitely make more. The big pharma's going to be all right no matter what. The bottom line is there's new technologies on the horizon, and this landscape is looking different and different every day. That's all I have to say on Let's Talk.
yeah, I think 10 years, like you said, we'll have to have a different conversation about this.
Well,
I think one or two of these ideas will already be out and and happening. And then hopefully people can keep coming up with these types of ideas
they will. They
to
will.
save more lives. So,
Yeah.
but again, if you're watching live, thank you. If you're watching the replay later, we appreciate it. Still sending prayers to Jonathan Trailer, Melissa Trailer, who dealing with COVID issues right now, and then Alex Brales just recently lost his grandmother. Praying for all of you, all the transplant people, all the people just dealing with issues in general. We hope you find a way to get around these things and through them, and not alone with somebody next to you. So, again, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Have a great Tuesday. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you all tomorrow morning, same time, right here on Second Chance.